At this time, I'd like to remind you that I'm not your financial advisor and this is not financial advice. My YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes only and to document my journey in the crypto space. I encourage you to pause the video at this time to read the full disclaimer. And now let's get on with the show. Okay guys, welcome back. So anybody following my channel, I hope you kind of heeded my advice on Tewkenaire. And when I was posting that video saying, did you FOMO in or is it time to FOMO in? I was being accurate. So let's give you a quick update where we're at. As you can see, this is a 1 hour chart, obviously on the Tewkenaire site. And you can see it's been just gradually increasing. Now, this is just within the last hour. If we could back this out further, you would see that this thing has just been spiking. If you haven't FOMO'd in yet and you think it's too late, it is not too late. I'm telling you already, this thing, you know, if you've watched my previous video, you know that there's partnerships being made and the partnerships haven't even started yet. So the divs and the token price and all that kind of stuff is literally just a community and people like you and me buying into this. Now we're going to go over the numbers of my spreadsheet here in just a little bit, but I wanted to just do a quick video as an update. So if you follow the Tewkenaire in the Telegram, obviously he's been announcing partnerships and things. He already mentioned the iGuppy or the Guppy.io, whatever it's called. The other one, which again, if you've been following my channel, was none other than HyperETH. So HyperETH, if you've been following, and I've been supporting this particular developer since he's over at the Ethereum. So he's transitioning it to Hypertron. So in essence, the Ethereum contract, I'm not sure what he's going to do with it, to be honest with you. We'll let him figure that out, but he is moving it over. He is moving his gameplay, and he's moving over his dice, and he's moving over these various player versus player games, the moon, the lotto, the mines, the dice, all that's coming over to the Hypertron blockchain. So he does have some player versus player games. Now he's told me in our own personal conversations, without revealing too much, that he has more already in development. But right now their focus is moving this HyperETH over to Hypertron. So if you guys have been following my channel, it would be a good idea to get into this particular Discord. I'll put a link down below of that Discord so you can go in there and kind of get all the announcements as Hypertron sends it out. But even more importantly is now this thing has a potential to skyrocket. One of the hardest things in the dapp space is getting the marketing and getting eyes and getting exposure. Well, he's going to be jumping into the Tron network. And what did he do? He partnered with Tewkenaire. So what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what the partnership entails, but let's just call it what it is. It's either going to be Hypertron feeding Tewkenaire or Tewkenaire feeding Hypertron. Being that Tewkenaire is the one that's going to be taking the bulk of the marketing and exposure and, you know, and you're linking into it, my guess is a percentage of mining on the Hypertron will go towards purchasing Tewkenaire. I'm just speculating. I have no inside information on this. Or they'll go the same route that they did with the Frag, which in right now, every time you buy Tewkenaire, you get 1% towards Frag. So either way, this is going to be a good move. If you haven't joined this Discord yet, I suggest you do. I'm going to put a link below so you can join it. The Guppy one is coming as well, and there's 2 or 3 more that Pyrabank, in fact, just this morning in his Telegram, he said that he just got word that he may be developing a partnership that would kind of basically blow everybody's mind away. Now he released a video earlier today. I haven't watched it yet, so maybe he's announced that. I'm not quite sure, but I'll follow up on that. So without further ado, I don't want to delay this too long. Let's kind of see where we're at with me and where we were at before. So let's just get some proof as to why you should FOMO in, like I was talking about. So this is the spreadsheet that I showed you guys before. So here's where we're at. Now over here, I'm going to start messing with frags and stuff. I just haven't gotten there yet. So let's see where we're at. I put in 1,000. I put it and ended up putting in another deposit. So I looked into this a little bit, and as it turns out, I'm going to keep track of this, but on the values down here, anytime I roll my dividends, it doesn't increase this deposited. So just keep that in mind. When I do withdraw my dividends, it does pull out to this PRX withdrawn section. So what I've decided to do to get a true value is I'm going to put on here even the stuff that I roll in, because in essence, every time I roll, I am technically putting Tron into it, and it is increasing my amount of tokens that I currently hold, thus increasing the value, because if at any point I want to sell, that's the value I'm going to get. Meaning right here, so right now I have 372. Now if you watch, I have 6 TRX in earnings at the moment. No referrals yet. If you guys are feeling generous, please use my link below. I would love some referrals to kind of boost this up. So if you watch now, this 6.34. Now if I roll these earnings, oh, you know what? Hold on one second. I have to hard refresh. Just bear with me just a moment, guys. I forgot Trevon put a message in Telegram saying to hard refresh because they did some updates. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they actually updated this referrals, and they also updated this leaderboard here. So now you can actually see the top 100 token holders. I'm almost there. Look, this guy's only got 100 or 12,055. I'm getting there. I have 372. A little bit slowly but surely. Let's give this just a moment here to load. Perhaps my internet is just really dragging right now. Come on. Sorry for the delay here, guys. All right, well, while we're loading on that, let's talk about the Hypertron here again. So if you guys haven't gone into Hypertron, let me tell you a little bit about it. It initially started on the Ethereum blockchain. It had a kind of an hourglass type of a exchange that ultimately got eliminated. It went over to what they call the hyper tokens, and he was actually going to be making a decentralized exchange. Since that time, Tron is just quicker. Now, I won't go into the details of it, but he was getting a lot of, I don't know what you want to call it. He wasn't getting a lot of the exposure that I think it deserves, put it that way. But he's already, since it's come out, even with the minimal players that they've had, he created a dice game, a moon game, a wheel game, which I'm sure we're all familiar with, a lotto game, as well as a mines game. This is all on Ethereum. Hyperspace, Hypershot were both on the Ethereum. Also, these are player versus player where you can play each other for tokens. And then it was like anything else. If you had tokens, the more you mined and the more you played, the more tokens you got, the more dividends you got. I think he's going to go to the model where you're actually going to play with Tron on the Tron blockchain. So everything you're mining, you're going to be mining with Tron. And as you mine that Tron, you get more of the hyper tokens. The hyper tokens then give you dividends towards what you've been earning, basically. So just like these other platforms that you're used to. I can't tell you, it's incredibly smooth. I've played this. I rolled out. You can see me here. This is actually on the Ethereum. It runs incredibly smooth. So do all these other games here. The Moon game, the Wheel game, all these things run incredibly smooth compared to other ones that have gone on. At any rate, let's go back and see if token has reloaded. It has. Okay. So again, if you haven't seen, the last update was referrals. I don't have any at this point. Leaderboard, which will tell you the top 100. Buy and sell prices. Obviously, here's the chart as always. It looks like actually he moved the wallet stuff up to the top here, whereas before it was below down here. And then now here is your so let's see where we're at here. So let me show you first 372 tokens. I got 7.6 in earnings. It looks like he moved these up to the top. So I have 7.62 TRX that's currently in earnings. So what I'll show you what I was talking about earlier. So we're going to click on, am I logged in over here? Okay, so let's roll. There it goes. Oh, my computer's going really slow today. Okay, so I roll my earnings. You'll see that this went up to 374.6. So let's update that. Actually, I don't even have that value on here. Okay, anyway, but you'll see, so actually I just put in 7 TRX. We come down here, and this still says 150. So what I've been doing is updating what I'm rolling back into it here so I get an actual value of what I've been putting into it. So, and then obviously the Tron out anytime I withdraw. So at the moment, I honestly am just alternating. So I'm even here. So on the next dividends that I log in or feel like doing it, I pull out. The next one I roll in. So anyway, so I alternate between pulling in or putting it in and pulling it out. I'm tracking what previous values are. So this is where I'm going to try and tell you, did you FOMO in when you did? So previous count was 95.45 on my previous. The current on my last video, I'm going to update this on each video, was 99.61. Currently, 14,101,440. So let's put that here. This goes to previous. This is going to go to current. It obviously went up. Cost in. So on the last video, these were the previous values of buying in and buying out. Let's see where we're at now. So now buying in is 5.8. So buying in is 5.8. Out is 4.75. 4.75. So both of those have gone up almost an entire TRX, actually a little bit more than TRX. So again, if you haven't FOMO'd in yet, I don't know if we're going to see these buy-in prices at or below 5 anytime soon. So let's see where I'm at with my percentage. So this value here is how much, if I were to sell all my tokens right now at current value, how much profit am I in from that initial 1,050 that I put in? That's including anything. So what this value is doing is it's taking away everything I pulled out already, everything that I've put in, and it's taking into account how many tokens I have and what are they worth at the moment. So my last token worth was 1505. Let's see where we're at now. I currently have 374.06. So if I were to sell 374.06, I have 1778 TRX. So 1778 TRX. I'm actually almost 200%. If I were to sell all of my tokens right now, I would be up 171.47%. Am I going to do it? Absolutely not. I'm going to do it. I'm up 171.47% on my 1,000 TRX that I put in without referrals at this point. And the partnerships haven't even started yet. The Hypertron hasn't even started feeding into it. The Guppy, the other two that he's in conversations with, none of those have started doing anything that's being worked on in the back end right now. So absolutely, I'm going to keep buying into this. Absolutely. Am I going to support Hypertron? Always. I've been part of this guy's community since he started. I'm going to back him to the end. I'm going to mine on this and do everything. If that feeds token, beautiful. Let's feed token. If token feeds that, even better. Let's keep doing that. You got these other 2, 3, 4 dapps. And like I said, he's got another one that he apparently said that is going to blow everybody's mind this morning in Telegram. So if you didn't listen to my last video, if you weren't watching my last video, is it time to FOMO in? Absolutely, it's time to FOMO in. Again, this isn't financial advice, but I would suggest getting in sooner rather than later because this thing is just going to continue to climb and continue to climb. So this is not financial advice, but if you were going to be taking your Tron and putting it somewhere at this current day, and again, I'm involved in many other dapps, but the one that's kind of the hottest ticket right now and the one that's making the most partnerships, which other dapps have tried and failed, is Tewkenaire. Do what you do with your Tron. If you do want to get into this, you know, I would love to try and get some people listed over here on the referral side of things. That would be amazing. But in the meantime, if you haven't FOMO'd in yet, it's time. You guys are going to be losing ground. You're not going to see, my personal opinion, you're not going to see below 5 or below anytime soon again. I think this is just going to continue to climb. So thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment if you have any dapps you want me to take a look at, or if you're in Tewkenaire, let me know where you're at. And let's go make some Tron.